Hello students, welcome to our class. Today we are going to complete the grammar and more verbs, that is our topic, and study material page 146 to 149. So come on, page number 64 in your grammar and more. So since your primary class you have been studying about verbs. You all knows verbs are three. The verbs which express actions, verbs express a state of being, verb express a possession or suffering. Now in detail we are going to study in this topic. Now read this passage. In the passage you will be observing the grey words. These grey words are verbs. Now come on. How is Prince Bumpo getting on? Asked the doctor. Oh, I am glad you asked me, said Polynesia. I almost forgot to tell you. What do you think? Bumpo is in England. In England? You don't say, cried the doctor. What on earth is he doing here? His father, the king, sent him here to a place called Bulford. I think it was to study. Bulford, muttered the doctor. I never heard of the place. Oh, you mean Oxford? Yes, that is the place, Oxford, said Polynesia. I knew it had cattle in it somewhere. Oxford, that is the place he has gone to. So this is a small passage from The Voyage of Dr. Dolittle by Hugh Lofting. Now what is our task? The grey words are the verbs. Write the root form of any 10 of them. So there are many verbs given here. Pick out the only 10 words and write its root form. Root form means the base form, V1 form has to be written. If it might be given in past tense or past participle or present participle, first you will write it, then you have to change it into root form. Now come on, let us do. The first one is given to you here, is. Is root form, B form. Now second, getting. Getting root form is get. Now third one, asked. Root form of the asked, ask, V1 form. Now fourth, said. Said root form, say. Next, forgot, forget. Tell. Tell is a root form, V1 form it is given. So we will be writing again the same form, tell. Now think. Think is also given in the same form. So the V1 form again, think. Next one, say is already written by us. So we can go with cried. Cried is given in the past. So change it into V1, cry. Sent. Sent is the past. So change it into send. And think is already written by us. Now go with study. Study, same word again continued with study, the root form. Okay. So these are the answers. Now if you want some other words like muttered, heard, mean, knew, had, gone, you can also change them into the root form of the verbs. As 10 are given, we have done. So if you want to change them, the rest you can make it. Okay. Come to your page 65. Verbs are words that express an action and tell us what a person or thing is, does or has. Every sentence must have a verb. So here, why the verb is very important? Because it expresses an action and tell us what a person or thing is or does or has. Now 3 examples are given. Please look at them carefully. Ritu is a good singer. Ritu sings a song. Ritu has a beautiful voice. Now, the subject is common, Ritu, but you can observe the change in the verbs. Ritu is a good singer. Is talking about a state of being. So, if the helping verbs are acting as a main verb in the sentence, it expresses a state of being like is, am, are, was, were, will be, etc. It was me. If I say, what is the verb? Was is the verb. Okay, I am is the verb. So see that when the helping verbs are acting as a main verb, it talks about a state of being. Ritu sings a song. Now sings is very clear, it is a verb. It expresses an action. What is the action Ritu is doing? Sing. She sings a song. Ritu has a beautiful voice. Has is also a verb. Which verb? It expresses a position. What is that position? She has a beautiful voice. So here we come across the 3 kinds of verbs. One, expressing action, express a state of being, express a position. Okay. Now coming to our first exercise, complete these sentences with suitable verbs from the box. So in the box they have given you some words. So keep them in an appropriate blank. Now first one, 3 frogs dash into a kitchen. Now looking at these words in the box, the apt answer for this, hopped, H-O-P-P-E-D, jump. 3 frogs hopped into a kitchen. Second, they dash a pot of cream, discovered. Third, help us, we are drowning, they dash as the cream dash them. 2 blanks are given. First blank screamed, the other blank choked. Fourth, one of the frogs gave up and dashed into the cream and died, sank. The other one dashed to struggle for a long time, attempting to get out. Answer for this, continued. Soon his kicking and splashing had dashed the cream into butter. So what is the answer we will be writing? Churned the cream into butter. A large pat of butter dashed towards the top of the pot, rose. It is not a flower, it is the action verb rise, rose, risen. So R-O-S-E. The frog dashed on to the big pat of butter and dashed out. The first blank clambered, second jumped. Okay. Now next exercise, replace the underlined words with a verb from the box and rewrite these sentences. Now we should replace the words. Some underlined words are given and in the box identify the apt one and change into the other form. Father gave support to me to apply for the scholarship for my higher education in California. Now gave support to. Identify this underline, gave support to. Now observe in the box which is the correct answer. Is it reassured, approved, informed, proceeded, applied, realized, encouraged, submitted? Which is the apt answer for gave support to? Yes, encouraged. Now in that underlined part you should put this word and write the complete sentence. Father encouraged me to apply for the scholarship for my higher education in California. Now second, I went on to fill in the form and send the application. Went on means proceeded. So I proceeded to fill in the form and send the application. Now turn your page, third one. Mother allayed my doubts and told me that everything would work out well and I would get the scholarship. Now mother, what is the right one? Observing the box, reassured. Mother reassured me that everything would work out well and I would get the scholarship. Fourth one, I gave for consideration my form at the office in Youth World. Gave for consideration, submitted. I submitted my form at the office in Youth World. The jury thought well of my grades and achievements in school. Thought well. Right answer? Approved. The jury approved of my grades and achievements in school. A month later, I was given the information that I had been granted the scholarship. So it is so clear, the right answer for that. Yeah, a month later, I was informed. Given the information changes into informed that I had been granted the scholarship. That day, I became aware that the first step towards success is having faith in yourself. Became aware, realized. That day, I realized that the first step towards success is having faith in yourself. Now, last one. Then I made a formal request for my visa. Made a formal request, applied. Then I applied for my visa. Okay, children? Now see Roman, fill in the blanks with the correct form of the verbs in the box. See, again, in the box they given you some words. Read this entire fill in the blanks. So I will be telling you up to 7 answers. The rest of them you try to make it. It is a passage. Mani and Tara were dash back home from school when they dash a whimper. Were dash back home, which is a suitable answer here. What are they doing action? Walk. But we should change into the continuous. Mani and Tara were walking back home from school when they dash a whimper. Here changes into heard. Past form, heard. They dash around and Tara dash a pup trapped in a shrub. They looked, changing into past form. They looked around and Tara spotted a pup trapped in a shrub. The little animal was dashed to come out of it. The suitable answer for that, trying to come out of it, but it couldn't dash its way out. It couldn't find. We cannot change it into found. Tara dashed down on the ground. Sat down. Sit changing into sat down on the ground. And carefully, now try for these answers. Page number 67. It is so easy as few were done by us. So rest you try and check your answers at the end of our video. Clear? Now we are going to subject-verb agreement. Subject-verb agreement plays a very important role in English grammar. So if you are perfect with these rules, it is so easy for you when you are speaking to someone or else when you are writing any kind of the information. Now come on, first one. The verb in a sentence has to agree with the number of the subject. We use the verb in the singular when the subject is a singular noun or pronoun. We use the verb in the plural when the subject is a plural noun or pronoun. This is known to everyone. So first, the verb in the sentence has to agree with what? The number of its subject. What is called number of the subject? Means if you are taking a singular subject, means a singular noun. So we use the verb in singular. Whereas if you take a plural subject, or if you take a noun or a pronoun, whatever it might be in a subject place, then the verb should also be a plural verb. See, very clear here. If subject is singular, verb should be singular. If the subject is plural, verb is plural. And in subject place, it either be as a noun or a pronoun. Let's see one example. Hamid chops. Stops, if you can keep any of the object. Hamid stops writing. Hamid is a singular verb, singular subject, and it is followed with a singular verb. Means Hamid singular, V1 as form. Stops. You can keep any object, stops writing. They move. They is a plural subject followed with a plural verb, move. Whereas if I take Raju, what should I keep? Raju is the subject singular. So can I keep move or moves? Raju moves to England. So moves is a singular. When the subject is singular, singular verb has to follow. When the subject is plural, plural verb has to be followed. Grandmother doesn't have medicines. For example, if I take an object, grandmother is a subject singular. Negative form we go with doesn't. Grandmother doesn't have what medicines? Friends don't think. So friends, negative form what we are applying here? Don't think in other manner or something you can add here. The verb should also agree with the person of the subject. So, verb should agree with what? Person of the subject. Please underline that point. They have many beautiful dogs in the kennels. How many? Countless. Many beautiful dogs is a plural form. So, they followed with the have form, plural form have. Mary has some tickets left with her. Mary singular followed with the verb singular. Mary has. Some tickets is an object there. Okay. So first point what we have learned, if the subject is singular, the verb should be singular. If the subject is plural, the verb should be plural. This is the first one. Now second one, the verb should also agree with the person of the subject. Now next, collective nouns are countable nouns that refer mainly to groups of people or things. In their singular form, collective nouns can take a singular or plural verb. Collective nouns are often used with a plural verb when the group is thought of as consisting of separate individuals. This is very important point. Now, collective nouns are countable nouns that refer mainly to what? Group of people, or else you can take things. But in their singular form, they take only a singular or plural verb. Example, the staff over here is hardworking. See the grey words. This staff, we are taking it as singular. Is hardworking. The verb is also be used in the singular form when we are taking it as a singular. Now, all the staff means we are considering them as if it is a plural. Now, follows with which verb? Plural verb. What is the plural verb? Have form. All the staff have left for the day. The staff over here is hardworking. See, in these two sentences, staff is common subject. But identify the difference here. One is taken as a singular subject, the second is taken as the plural. So, basing on the subject, please change the verb form. When a collective noun is used in the plural, we use a plural verb. If the collective noun is used in plural form, we use a plural verb. The herds of cattle, herds, it is used in the plural. graze in the meadow south of the city every morning. The teams were housed in hotels for the national games. When the collective noun is used in the singular, we use the singular verb. A shoal of fish is swimming in the lake. See, shoal of fish is a collective. Is swimming. A bouquet of flowers is lying on the table, considering as singular. Now turn your page. Singular verbs are used with words such as none, any, someone, everyone, each one, neither, either, and no one. So these are the words which we use for the subject singular, and they are followed with the singular verbs. None of these plates is broken. Do you think any of those cups is cracked? Neither of the two brothers is sure to pass. Either of the plans is to be adopted. So we can create many examples using them. Now come to our exercise. Choose the correct verbs and complete the paragraph. So here they given you two options after the every blank. You observe them carefully. Then let's start doing it. One of the first things that a child dash in school. A child. One of the first things that a child is considered as the singular. So it follows with which verb? Learn or learns? Yes, the right answer, learns in school. Dash that a fish dash in water is that a fish lives in water, and when it is brought out of water, it dies. True, most fish dash, but there are few fish that dash. Most fish do, because we are talking of many. Most fish do, but there are a few fish that climb, dash, and there. Walker walk, and there dash even a species that flies is. The anabas which dash found in Asia is found in Asia. Is, 10th blank is also is, one of the species that can walk clumsily on land and can even climb a tree. The same is fighting fish and the walking catfish are the other two. Two is the plural. So follows with dash the ability to move on land, have. They dash water, they leave water and venture out on land for a while and then dash right back into their home, jump. The flying fish literally dash out of water, flies. Its tail dash it out of water and into the air, propel. The large fins dash out like wings, spread. And the tail dash rapidly, vibrates. The lower part of the fin dips into water every now and then to enable it to breathe and stay up in the air for a while. Next, tick the correct ending to complete each sentence. All those lessons that sailors. Now look at these two and try for the first one what it is. Tell, or it begins with tells. Yes, sailors. Now we'll go with the subject. As it is given in the plural, the verb should be plural. Tell about sea monsters may not be just legends after all. So put a tick mark for the first one. In 1896, a huge octopus measuring 200 feet across, huge octopus, singular subject followed with a singular verb. So the right option was washed up on the Florida beach. Second option, put a tick mark. James Ingham, a Bermuda fisherman. So one person we are talking, singular. felt that bigger fish are to be found off the Bermuda shelf. So first option. He thought he would. Now carries out is given carry out. Suitable answer is carry out an experiment there. Second option. As he fished, he discovered that he was right or he was right. The right answer was right. Second option. Excited, he had a huge trap made of iron rods and dash. Cast or cast? First option, cast it deep into the sea. What did Ingham feel or feels? Feel a while later. First option. He felt that the big boat was or were as subject singular verb was being towed away by some enormous unseen force. First option. He thought it was an undersea animal. First option. Ingham could only, first option, conclude that the lair of the giant octopus had been discovered. Now these are the answers. F. Roman, read this paragraph carefully. Some words do not agree with their subjects. Correct them. So he given some verbs which are not agreeing. Try to correct them properly. Now one is done for us. The sports of whitewater river rafting are gaining popularity among young adventurous people who dares to challenge the power of a mighty river. So first line R is under striked off and changed into is, and who second line dares, please underline dares, change it into dare, D-A-R-E. Now turn your page to page 70. It are also a tourist attraction. Is it right? It are also. Now underline are and change into is. Attraction in many places in India. Rivers such as the Alkananda, Bhagirathi, Indus, Janskar and Testa provides. And Testa provides. Is it right? Now underline provides, change it into provide. The right rapids for rafting. The term whitewater refers. Singular subject, singular verb. So change it into refers as plural is given. Underline refer, change into refers to the whitish appearance of the frothy, fast flowing water amidst with the raft sails. What is the right answer? Sail. Good. So singular verb, whereas here given plural, so turn it into plural verb. Since this sport can be dangerous, it are very important. Are changing into is very important. That the raft and all the accompanying equipment is accompanying equipment. So change into are of high grade quality. Any individual who is not adept at rafting must be accompanied by a trained river guide. This guide must also be a skilled rafter and has, underline has, turn into have, sufficient knowledge of first aid. Now tick the verb that is in agreement with its subject. Now you try this as we have done all these practice exercises. Now G Roman, you try and check your answers later. H Roman, there are errors in each sentence. Write the sentence correctly. Water are the most popular drink in the world. Can water be taken as plural? No. So we have to identify the error are and write the sentence correctly. Water is the most popular drink in the world. Second, the next most popular drinks is tea and coffee. Drinks, talking about the plural, followed with a plural verb, is turned into are. The next more popular drinks are tea and coffee. tea were invented. Can we say tea were invented? Tea is a singular, were is a plural. So change into singular verb. Tea was invented nearly 4,800 years ago and it were. Identify the were, underline, turn it into was. Totally an accident. Tea leaves find their way into Emperor Shan Nok's boiling water. Is it talking about present? No, it is talking about the past. So find change into found. Tea leaves found their way into Emperor Shan Nok's boiling water. When the emperor tasted the liquid, he thought it were delicious. It followed with the plural verb, right? No. So it was delicious. Tea were traded for other ware from Asia. Were to be replaced with was. Tea was traded. Thomas Filman were the inventor. Subject singular. Verb should be singular. Change it into was. Tea bags thrilling people all over the world. Is it right? Continuous should be used here. No. So tea bags thrill people all over the world. So we are writing it into simple present. Now finite and non-finite verbs. Past participle and present participle verbs come under as non-finite verbs. V3, V4. Now we will learn clearly about the finite and non-finite. When the verb in a sentence indicates the tense and changes according to the subject, we call it a finite verb. The form of the verb changes to indicate the tense of the sentence. It also changes to indicate the number of the subject in the simple present tense. Now, the first what we are going to learn is the verb in the sentence indicates the tense, that is verb, and it is going to change according to its subject. If it changes according to the subject, it comes under as a finite verb. Now let us see the present tense, past tense, present continuous, past continuous, which are also called progressive, present perfect, past perfect. Now come on, examples for the present tense. She serves a meal to the assembled guests. They serve a meal to the assembled guests. When you observe the two sentences, first sentence, she is a singular subject followed with a singular verb. In second, they, plural subject followed with a plural verb. The rest of the sentence is common, but we will identify the verb changing. Subject singular, verb singular. If subject plural, verb is plural. Please do remember this. Now past tense, serve is going to be changed into V2 form, which is called as served. Same, she served a meal to the assembled guests. And even if you take a plural subject, the verb is not going to be changed. They served a meal to the assembled guests. In the past form, the verb is in the V2. Either it is the subject singular or subject plural. Now present progressive means present continuous. You all know the helping verbs. Is, am, are the three helping verbs we use, and it is followed with verbing form. If the subject is singular, here example, she is serving a meal to the assembled guests. Past continuous, she was serving a meal to the assembled guests. They were serving. It is a, they subject is plural. The past continuous, were is the form we use. Present perfect, she has served a meal to the assembled guests. In past perfect, we have only one form, that is had. She had served a meal to the assembled guests. Now in these examples, the finite verb serve is used in different forms to indicate the different tenses. So we have picked out one verb. What is the verb here? Serve. And is used in the different forms to indicate what we are indicating? Different tenses. However, the form of the verb assemble does not change with the change in tense, so it is not a finite verb. Non-finite verbs are of three kinds. Now what are the three kinds we will be learning? infinitives, two forms, participles and gerunds. Participles, it either be present participle, past participle and gerunds. In last class we have observed gerund and present participle difference. So gerund, it means in subject or object plus followed with ing form. Now come on, let's see with infinitives. We use infinitives to join sentences. You can speak to him on the phone. Would you prefer that? Would you prefer to speak to him on the phone? So infinitives are two kinds. Bare infinitive means without using the to form, and to infinitive means you are applying to before the verb. The bare infinitive of a verb consists of infinitive without the word to. Like example, let him decide. We are not using to form, so it is coming under bare infinitive. He must play. We use the bare infinitive after modals like will, shall, would, could, can, may, might, must, should and needn't. See, when do we apply this bare infinitive? When you are using after modal verbs. He will come. They must attend. I couldn't walk. In these cases you are applying because we are using the modal verbs. Now example here, I can't agree with her on this, though I would like to help her. Can't. You must finish your work before you go out, but you don't have to rush into it. Here must is a modal verbs. So what are the modal verbs? After modals, will, shall, would, could, can, may, might, must, should and needn't. Often certain verbs such as hear, see, make and let. I saw him, read the article and I heard him laugh to himself. I cannot make you take this medicine, but you must have it. I can't let you go to bed on an empty stomach. See the certain verbs. What are the certain verbs we used here? See, make, let and hear. When we use the verb with to, it is called to infinitive. And see very clear, the to infinitive is used when the meaning implies the future. And the participle is used when the meaning implies that something happened in the past. Difference between the to and the participles. So which you are going to explain about the future happenings, it is to. And if you are talking about happened in the past something, it is a participle. We asked him to decide the matter. So still it needs to be happened. He offered to help out. The to infinitive generally functions as a noun or a complement in the sentence. To operate this machine, insert a coin in the slot. Touch the screen anyway to activate the program. And next point is used after verbs like hope, want, agree and able. We were not able to help them. We agreed to help them. Is used after nouns or adjectives. The management asked the principal to decide. It was difficult to decide on the man of the match. Now these 3 points are very important to you. The first point repeating, it functions as a noun or a complement in the sentence. Second, after verbs like hope, want, agree and able. Next, used after nouns or adjectives. And now we have learned the difference between bare infinitive to infinitive. So infinitives are two. One is bare, means without using the to form. To infinitive, adding the to the verb. Bare infinitives are used after modals, whereas to infinitive is used as functions as a noun or a complement after verbs like few, hope, want, agree and able, after nouns or adjectives. And the next difference is about participles. A participle is a verb that is used as an adjective and most often ends in ing or ed form. It expresses an action or a state of being. However, since they function as adjectives, participles modify nouns or pronouns. Please do remember this. They can occur before or after a noun or at the beginning of a phrase. See some words of emotions as like and hate and perception such as understand, recognize do not take ing form. We'll say I have known him for a long time. But can we state I am knowing him for a long time? No. So these words come under as the words of emotion. So it cannot be take ing forms. The smiling baby caught my finger. So we are describing which baby here? The smiling baby. So smiling is a participle. Tickled by the clown's antics, the children laughed loudly. In the place of ing, we are adding the ed form. Removing his shirt. Removing ing form. So there are two types of participles. What are they? Present participle and past participle. Present participle end in ing. He left taking the book with him. And whereas past participle ends in ed, en, d, t or n. Like asked, eaten, saved, dealt, seen and many more examples. Driven by the boy's passion for the game, the coach included him in the game. Alarmed by the sight of the crowd, the driver turned the car around. See what do you observe here? En form driven and in next sentence alarm. Participles are very important for you for the next classes even like 9th and 10th class you will have many exercises. Now gerund, a gerund is a verb that ends in ing and functions as a noun. It expresses an action or a state of being. However, since a gerund functions as a noun, it occupies the same position in a sentence that a noun ordinarily would, subject or object or after prepositions. In the last class we discussed about it. It comes either in the subject place or in the place of object or after the preposition. The batting let down the side. It is the subject of a sentence batting. The side is known for its fantastic bowling. Bowling is acting as the object of a sentence. The captain was upset with his team for the bad fielding. It is acting as the object of the preposition. Now let's start doing the exercise here. Do you enjoy dash football matches? Now fill in the blanks with the words from the box. Use the correct form. Now ing forms have to be applied or bare infinitive or to infinitive. All the three were mixed here. It either be a gerund or a participle or infinitives. Do you enjoy dash football matches? What do you say? Yeah, ing form. Do you enjoy watching? Are you planning dash another country this summer? To infinitive, to visit. When did you finish dash dinner last night? Eating. Our neighbors are planning to move. We normally avoid dash shopping. We try and buy everything online. Going. Martin hasn't finished writing the report as yet. He had better hurry up. This morning I felt so fresh that I decided dash jogging to go. Are you planning dash at home this evening? To stay. Now turn your page. Complete these sentences. So you can try to write your own answers here. Looking up from his work, you can add something. If I state he asked what time lunch was or what is the time for the lunch. So try this 2 to 6. As one I have told you. Check your answers. If you want to write the same answers, you write it or you can change into your state. Now read this passage and underline the gerunds. So what are gerunds we have told you? Subject place or object place or after prepositions they were added. Most tourists are people who are fond of traveling and sightseeing. And this is the passage given to you. You read it carefully and underline only the gerunds, not the participles. Try it. Page number 74, project is given. Make a list of verbs that do not change spelling when used as nouns. List them in alphabetical order. You may use your dictionary for reference. So whenever you have free time, you can do this. It's not too important now. Page 75, choose the correct word and write it in the blanks. So 3 options were given for every blank. You should choose the correct one and write. It's a conversation between Tara, Dhruv, Swati. Now it is the duty of every human being on the face of this earth, dash our planet, dash the environment is one of the ways to do this. Now observe the 3 options given here, and which is the apt answer? Protected, protecting, to protect. So it is the duty of every human being on the face of this earth to protect our planet. Protecting the environment is one of the ways to do this. Now Dhruv, in order dash our environment healthy and clean, we must remember that dash of trees is not the only way to do so. Dash the use of plastic bags is another way. So hope it is so easy. You can say the answers here. First one, to make. Second, planting. And the fifth one, to ban. Means third one to make, fourth one planting, fifth one to ban. Swati, I don't know why people tend dash to litter. Dash makes the place not only unclean, littering, but it also harms animals by spreading diseases. Even bonfires must be restricted. Dash air pollution to curb. So 6th one to litter, 7th one littering, and 8th one to curb. Next Tara conversation. Dash of trees without permission from the forest department is illegal. Now the answer, felling. Yet sometimes people do not hesitate dash down trees to cut that seem dash the slightest problem in or around their homes to pose. Now Dhruv, each one of us should remember dash a sapling on our birthdays. This is a good way dash the problem of deforestation. Yes, today everywhere we'll observe on the birthday what they are doing, they are planting a small plant in their garden or in any area. Now each one of us should remember to plant a sapling. This is a good way to combat. Now Tara, dash my uncle from cutting down the gulmohar tree in front of his house was my way of expressing my concern for nature. Stopping my uncle. Now turn your page to 76. Dash paper and cardboard material is another way dash to the wastage of paper. This would further help in saving the priceless trees that takes years and years dash. Now 15th answer is recycling, 16 to reduce, 17 to grow. Okay. Now try to do this, page number 76. Fill in the blanks. Coming to your page 77. Combine these sentences using as infinitive. I have to choose some books for our school library. Will you help me? So you have to combine this sentence using infinitive. So how to write it? First one, will you help me? As to join these two, start with will you help me to choose some books for our school library. Ends with a question mark. Second, I can swim. I learnt it when I was very young. Now, I learnt to swim when I was very young. So, answer for this, I learnt to swim when I was very young. Third, Hansa will be home by 10 o'clock. That is certain. Hansa is certain to come home by 10 o'clock. Fourth, Lena did not have any extra money. She couldn't donate anything to the cause. Lena wanted to donate money, but she didn't have any extra money. Vani went shopping with her mother. She wanted a pair of shoes. Vani went shopping with her mother to buy a pair of shoes. This is a difficult problem. Only a clever person can solve it. This problem is too difficult to solve. The police have called Narayan to the police station. They want his help with the case. The police have called Narayan to the police station to help with a case. Next, insert infinitives from the box in the correct places to complete the paragraph. So, he given with infinitives all the options here. You look at them properly and try to fill in the blank. Aunt Anita and Uncle Vivek dash their wedding anniversary in a big way. So, wedding anniversary, what they want to do? Celebrate. So, what is the first option? To celebrate. They plan the entire event in great detail. They make it a point to dash invitation cards well in time. What do? Send. So, second one, to send. And they also make the effort to, dash calls to remind their guests of the party. To make. Last year, the theme was Ellen's. We all had the weirdest and the most imaginative attire dash like Ellen's. Fourth one, to wear. Fifth one, to look. Most of us were unable dash each other to recognize. The best rock band of the region was called to sing and play music that suited the occasion. Those who wanted to dance used the dance floor while others preferred to sit in the spacious lawn in front of the house. The food was laid well in time so that those who wished to leave early could do so. It is always a joy to recall that wonderful party. Next, complete the sentences with an infinitive. Use the words in brackets. I will send you to China. His boss dashed to China. Promise him is given. Which is the right one? His boss promised to China. Alright, I'll give you a 10% discount. The shopkeeper agreed to give me a 10% discount. Third, we are moving out of this town next year. Now answer, they plan to move out of this town next year. Show me all the dresses on that shelf, please. The customer asked the salesman to show her all the dresses on the shelf. Don't tell anyone what I just told you. My friend asked me not to tell anyone what she told me. Fill in the blanks with the correct form of the verb. This party was meant dash you. What is the right answer? You will be right. Surprise or to surprise was meant to surprise you. Infinitive, to form. That is the mask used dash little children to entertain. The play is very, can we use to form? No, very interesting. The king sat on a dash throne, raised throne, and dash bowl covered the cake, inverted. Now 79. Complete this telephone conversation using gerunds or infinitives. Use the verbs in bracket. Good morning, ACE Computers. How may I help you? Now option B is talking. I would like dash to Mr. Matthews, please. Speak is going to be changed into I would like to speak. May I know who is calling? This is Harinder speaking. I wonder if it would be possible dash him this week to meet. I am afraid Mr. Matthews is not free this week. He tried reaching you several times last week, but we were told that you were away. I really am sorry about that. I remember dash him to call me requesting, but I totally forgot about this trip to New Delhi that I had dash to make. Shall I ask him dash you sometime next week to call? Yes, thank you. I look forward to. To form is already given there. So just write here, HER from him. Thank you for calling. We will be in touch. Goodbye. You're welcome. Goodbye. Okay. Next one. More practice. This is our end of our grammar topic, verbs. Clear? Now check your answers. The homework which is given to you. Now we will be going with the study material completion. Here page number 146. Read the following passage. Here is a passage taken from the Selfish Jane part 1. Every afternoon as they were coming from school, the children used to go and play in my garden, but one day I came back. I had been to visit my friend the Cornish sugar and had stayed with him for 7 years. After the 7 years were over, I had said all that I had to say and I determined to return to my own castle. When I arrived, I saw children playing in my garden. Now here are the comprehension passage questions. Who says these words? The old giant says these words. Where did the speaker go? Why? The speaker went to visit his friend the Cornish ogre. How long did he stay with him? He stayed with him for 7 years. What did he decide to do? He decided to return to his castle. What did he see in his garden? He saw children playing in his garden. Next one, I was really very sorry for what I had done. I crept downstairs and opened the front door quite softly and went out into the garden. But when the children saw me, they were so frightened that they all ran away and the garden became winter again. Only the little boy did not run, for his eyes were so full of tears that he did not see me coming. Now passage questions. Who felt sorry? Old giant felt sorry. Why did he feel sorry? Because he did not allow the children to play in his garden. He constructed a wall around it. What happened in the garden when the children left it? The garden became winter again. Write the antonym of gently, harshly. Why do you think the little boy did not run? The little boy did not see the giant as his eyes were full of tears, so he did not run. Now page 147, here's the vocabulary part for you. So synonyms, he given you 6 words. Underlined word, choose the correct synonym and write down. I once owned a large lovely garden. It is taken from the Selfish Giant part 1. Identify the A, B, C, D words and put a correct answer in A, B, C, D. Owned meaning possessed. Large, big, beautiful, lovely, sweetly, melodiously. So these are the answers for the first one. Now second, read the paragraph and match the words under A with their antonyms under B. The antonyms, old giant and the giant refers to the same character. The giant is a selfish character, whereas the old giant is a chain and kind character. And old giant addresses the audience directly. The action plays out behind him as he describes it. Now underline words, we should write a proper antonyms. Here matching is given. Identify the correct one in the column B and make it. Come on. Selfish. What is the apt one? Unselfish. Kind, cruel. Old. See, there are 2. Here we are talking about the people. It is not about a thing. So old, new is wrong. As old, we will be writing young. In the options also, it is given as young. So for person, old, old Jane, changing into young. Directly, indirectly. Third Roman, fill in the blanks with the right form of the words given in brackets. I had been to visit my, what is the right form? Friendship or friend? Friend. My friend, the Cornish sugar, and had dashed with him for 7 years. Stay or stayed? Stayed. After the 7 years were over, I had said all that I had to say, and I dashed, determined or determination? Determined to return to my own castle. When I dashed, I saw children playing in my garden. When I arrived. See, these passages will be taken only from the reading A. If you observe your textbook, it is so clear, it is taken from reading A. Now complete the following spellings. We can play on the dash. Here are the vowels given. This is also called as vowel clusters. O, A, U, O, O, A, I, E, A, E, O, U, I, A, etc. Now what are the vowels we will be using here? Only vowel forms. R dash dash D. Right answer O, A, road. The giant opens a door in the wall and dash at the children. SH dash dash TS shouts. So 1 and 2 answers you write here. First one road, second one shouts. Now complete the following words with the suffix given in the brackets. The old giant points out the young. What is the suffix? ER, first one. And second, giant working on a wall, putting up a sign and then listen, dash at the wall. What is the right one? Listening. Can we write NING or ING listening spelling? ING. LISTENING listening is the right one here. Now I find the wrongly spelled word and I write the correct spelling. First one, admire, bitter, EXAMIN is given companion. So it is so clear, observe the wrong one. Write the correct one, examine, NE has to be added, EXAMINE. Flung, CATSLE, scatter, seen. The right answer, castle, CASTLE, castle. Now places things, you try to do 7th Roman. Expressions in sentences of your own, make it. Own sentence for put up and knock down. Prepositions, fill in the blanks with suitable prepositions here. Let's start doing it. 9th Roman. She is waiting dash of friend for. Second, he is angry dash his brother's behavior. What is the correct usage? On or with or at. For people we use with. For things we use at. I am angry dash him with him because he came late. I don't believe dash you in. Believe in talks about the faith. He is not acquainted with anybody in this company. So these are the answers for the fill in the blanks. Now 10th Roman. Read the following passage carefully. Identify the gerund. See, the spelling mistake is given here. Gerund. ND you please strike off there. Gerunds, comma, present participles in it. TI is given there. Turn it into IT, it, in it. Now after reading the entire passage, just you find out only 6. So gerunds and present participle, only 6 are sufficient. You write it there in the gap which is given to you in page number 149. Next, 11th Roman, creative expressions, one line notices. Liner is given there. Strike off R. One line notice you may find in the following places. So petrol blank is given, second one. Change it, petrol bunk. Hospitals, petrol bunk, schools, at home and banks. Okay. Please try to write one line notices. This was already done by you yesterday in the previous selfish giant part 2 completion of the textual part. Okay. So try to make it. This is our today's class. Complete the grammar and more and the study material. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.